gift of time. I have pretty much 5 options, whether or not it actually looks good on my spreadsheet. Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Sarah Labrat, and today I wanted to take you guys through what a day of self-distancing as a writer looks like. So basically just like a day in my life, what I got done, why I'm doing things the way I'm doing them. And so here we go. This time of self-quarantining is basically how I already live my life because I have a part-time job that's remote but not a full-time job currently. So I'm left with pretty much the same options to fill my day as what I have like normally, but this time it's like much more like trying to stay inside and away from other people. And it's just a good reminder that like right now we have the time to do these things, and so here's how I've been filling my day as a writer in self-quarantine. The way I see it, I have pretty much 5 options. The first is, because I'm still looking for a job, is to job hunt. The second is to work for my part-time job, which is remote, and I can do that from anywhere, and my hours don't matter as long as I get what I need to done. The third is to stretch, walk, work out, whatever, move your body, make sure that you're staying healthy during this time because we're not leaving our homes. And the fourth is for me to work on a book, work on editing my book, work on creating in some way, because right now I have the time to do that. And the last one is, because I'm currently in Minnesota with family, is like spending time with my family and like enjoying their presence and stuff before I potentially go back to Texas. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. That would involve airplane travel, which I've heard is like not great right now. Those are my 5 options. They're all very good options. It's just a good reminder that like right now I have the time to like do that. But with job applications, companies are either halting the hiring process or stopping it altogether because they're allowing their employees to work from home because of the virus that's going around. And so right now you have the time to be creative. I have the time to be creative, and so that's what I'm gonna do. But because I'm at home and like don't have to be anywhere or have time structured around a 9-to-5 job, what I normally do is like start in the morning with water. Right now it's 10 o'clock. I start in the morning with water, and I don't normally eat until around 12, and then I stop eating around 8-ish. I don't beat myself up about it if I eat a little earlier or eat a little later, but I kind of try to intermittent fast, but that's also because my stomach doesn't wake up until 12, and so we're gonna start off today with a cup of water. I started my morning off with some job applications and going through my email, responding to things that I needed to before I started the creative work for the day, which today was rewriting, revising, editing the second draft of my manuscript that I recently finished rereading. With all of the self-quarantining that has been going on, not a whole lot is changing for me as far as my like daily routine goes, because I am currently still searching for a full-time job, but I have a remote part-time job. I'm writing, I'm trying to work out. Pretty much like my day-to-day, like I don't leave my apartment or like here when I'm at home. I don't leave the house unless I have to like go run errands or I want to go for a walk outside or something. So pretty much not a ton is changing for me as far as routine. It's not like I had a full-time like in-office job and now suddenly I have to work from home or something. It's like, no, this is pretty much what I do normally. It's just with this looming threat of the virus. So in today's creative work, I think I'm going to work on the next bullet point in my notebook of notes from the reread, and that is to round out, aka fill in the blanks, fill in parentheses sections for pages 7 through 13. I was snacking on Thin Mints throughout the day. I somehow always miss Girl Scout cookie season, but my parents bought boxes of Thin Mints, and so if I eat a lot of them at once, I've learned that I don't feel well afterwards because it's too much sugar for my system. But I was like having one every couple hours, which was really fun and like really nice to get me through all of my editing sessions. With all of this self-distancing, some people are self-quarantining, with all of this going on, it's still really important to get outside. And I did just get back from Florida, which is not self-quarantining or self-distancing, but vitamin D is supposed to be very healthy for you and like not getting sick. And so I still think it's a wonderful thing that I was in the sun. Probably not the smartest decision ever made, but still lovely. I'm going to try and leave the house at least like once a day. Today it was to run errands at Target and Costco. It is now 1:20. I'm about to go to the grocery store, which I understand is not really a part of self-quarantining. So I need to go get food, and then also might need to buy some canned goods and stuff in case I choose to stay up here for like longer self-quarantining for this virus. But in the future, if things continue to get worse and people continue to self-distance, then it will probably be to like go for a walk or something outside so that I'm still not around people, but I'm outside and I'm getting like the fresh air and everything. I am now back from the grocery store. I changed, I need to start some laundry, and then it's time to write again. My editing plan for the day was to work on pages like 7 to 13. It's hard because like as I'm adding and detracting words, that number kind of changes, but the first like 2 pages were pretty easy going, and then I hit page 9, and that's the part that I got to that really needed help and kind of stressed me out a little bit because I know how much work it needs.
Yeah, that's good enough.
What the heck? I started eating at around 11:30 or 45 this morning, and because I kind of like accidentally intermittent fast most days, I stopped eating at around 7:20 after we'd finished dinner. I had a Thin Mint and then I was done eating. There's no like serious reason that I do that. It's just, it makes me feel better. My stomach doesn't wake up for a long time, and that I'm not working around like a 9-to-5 job. It just makes sense for me. And then after my writing session after dinner, I had a long conversation with my parents about the virus and how we think that's going to affect things, how long it might affect things. I mean, we have no concept, right? Like nobody does. But we still talked about it because I currently live in Dallas. I am currently in Minnesota, but a lot of what we talked about was whether or not I should go back to Dallas or if I should stay up here for the time being. A lot of people are experiencing very uncertain times right now, especially with the virus and the market crash, and companies being put in a situation where they don't know if they can continue to keep their hourly workers. And so I really do not know how that's going to affect things. And so a lot of people are experiencing uncertainty in these times. My version of uncertainty is not having a full-time job. A lot of companies are halting the hiring process right now, and so I am having a very hard time finding one. My lease on my apartment ends in 2 months. I do not know where I'm going to be moving after that because I thought I was going to be moving closer to a job, but if you don't have a job, then you can't move closer to it. And if I'm up here in Minnesota, then I can't be like touring apartments in Texas, and my friends are in Texas, and my roommates are in Texas, and so it's just uncertain times. And like traveling right now is supposed to not be all that smart. I was just doing it, but I don't really feel comfortable doing it again so soon. And so something that's really important for me to keep reminding myself is that despite this really unfortunate situation that's affecting everybody in the world right now, this is giving me the gift of time, which never happens. That right now I have the time to be working on my books and I have the time to be creative, and so I should. So basically, if I do not create in these next however long X number of weeks or months or whatever, I would consider that wasted time. But I am working on creating and continuing creating, and I think that you should too. Today I ended up editing, revising, rewriting, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of a combination of all of the above, for about 2 hours and 5 minutes, and I added a net of 307 words to this project. I ended up deleting a lot of words today, so if I had to guess, I'm assuming I added more like 800, just with how much I deleted, but I have no idea because I'm trying not to track it that specifically. I'm just going for progress in like the overall page count and just like moving forward in the project instead of paying attention to how many words I added or lost because if I still added a bunch of words but had to take a bunch away. So if I have like a quote unquote negative word day, I don't want to like feel really bad about that if I spent like an hour or two on it, because that's progress and it's editing that the story needed, whether or not it actually looks good on my spreadsheet. From now until the end of April, which is also Camp NaNoWriMo in April, I am hoping to finish, I shouldn't say it like that, I will finish the second draft of this, which is my Project DE, which gives me a little under 6 weeks now, but I've started, I believe I'm on page 11 of 189. Well, it was 189 when I started. I'm not really sure where it's at right now, but supposedly I'm on page 11. I have like 5.5 more weeks, 6-ish weeks to finish this draft 2. If I work for about 2 hours a day, which is like a lot for me, but that's like a lot in like a really good day. So if I do between an hour and 2 hours a day, that'll get me, I hope, pretty close to the 6-week deadline. And like I said earlier, if self-distancing continues to be a thing, then that will give me the time to create and be creative, and that is the gift of time for me and my projects. And so I think that with this time where like you're not supposed to go and see other people, that this time gives me the time to be introverted and like allow me to create and work on this. So I'm very excited about it. Not excited about why this is happening. Obviously, I hope everybody is safe and feeling healthy. Obviously, listen to the CDC and everything else with what people are saying. I hope that everybody's good. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Sarah Lebrat. I try to post videos twice a week. I aim for Mondays and Thursdays. Sometimes that does not happen, but I try to post twice a week. If you have not already, I would really appreciate it if you guys hit the like button down below. Also subscribe for more content like this. Like I said earlier, I post twice a week. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next week with another video. Bye!